I saw a comment on X this morning that just stopped me in my tracks. A woman wrote, and I quote, "As soon as I see this stuff in the news, it takes me out of my healing journey and just pushes me back into survival mode. It's mentally exhausting." She was talking about the release of the Epstein files, and she's not alone. As these stories go viral, many women have to deal with a real fear of being re traumatized because for many it's not just news, it's a physical haunting. And you might feel it as a sudden onset of nausea or a tightness in your chest that won't go away, or a restless anger that makes you want to keep scrolling even though it hurts. That isn't lack of boundaries. It's your body trying to protect you from a danger it remembers. Today, I just want to share how we carry this weight and how we can set it down so that it doesn't become a part of us. There's a specific kind of betrayal trauma that happens when we see power being used to harm innocent children. It hits something primal. Another survivor shared, and I quote, "I carried shame that was never mine. It lived in my body, my choices, in my anger." When you read these, your brain might know you're safe on your couch, but your body is screaming, danger is here. Your heart rate shifts, your breath shallows, and suddenly you aren't just informed, you're activated. And when we're activated, we lose our discernment. We start doom scrolling because our brain thinks if we just find one more piece of information, we'll finally be safe. But information isn't safety, regulation is safety. I want to say something I had to learn the hard way. You do not have to stay in horror to be morally awake. You don't have to prove you care by consuming every graphic detail. In fact, if you have trauma in your history, that is an education. It becomes flooding. My body taught me the difference between awareness, where you say, I know this is real, and I stay steady, versus exposure, where I'm consuming so much that I'm becoming paralyzed. Steady people help more. Steady parents protect more. We need you steady. When I feel that hollow, sinking feeling in my chest, the one that makes me want to pull away from the world or keep scrolling until I'm numb, I found the only way for me is to turn that frozen energy into something tangible. I keep reminding myself, and maybe you need this reminder too, these files aren't finished. There may be more names, there'll be more stories. And if I flood my system now, I won't be steady down the road. We aren't just protecting our peace, we're protecting our capacity for the long haul. At this stage in our lives, the way we protect has evolved. Our children are grown, and our role has shifted from constant supervision of like a new mother to a steady, grounded presence for our families and our communities. Here's what helps turn that frozen energy into something more tangible. We can become protectors in ways available to us. For those of us with grandchildren, we get to be that steady, safe presence, the one who builds their voice, who says, you can always tell grandma. who notices when something's off. And for those of us without grandchildren yet, there are still children in our environment, nieces, nephews, neighbors' children, the kids in our community. Sometimes the most powerful thing a woman can do is simply be present, a witness, an extra set of eyes, a quiet, fierce way of saying, I see you and I've got your back. We can move toward local, quiet action, child advocacy centers or local shelters. Fear thrives in the abstract. Agency lives in the local. Giving a little time or support tells our nervous system, I'm not helpless. I have a seat at this table. We can curate our digital home. At this age, our peace is a hard-won asset. Stop following the accounts that trade in shock and seek out the ones offering solutions. If a digital space feels like a battlefield, simply leave the room. I promise to share what helps me when my body feels like it's holding the stories that I'm reading. When in that survival mode, exhausted but wired, I stop trying to think my way out of it. I move. There's a 15-minute fascia release practice by Jules Horn. You can find him on YouTube that I've been using. It's for beginners. It's gentle and it doesn't feel like a workout. It feels like it's telling your tissues you can let it go now. I don't always want to do it. Sometimes I just want to scroll. But when I choose it instead, my body thanks me. It helps discharge that stuck adrenaline so it doesn't turn into a migraine or a week of insomnia. The other option is to put on some music and dance. Shake all that stuck energy. And that's what I did yesterday. I put on some music and just danced. Halfway through, tears flowed and I just let them. I felt the sadness and the anger and the rage and let it out. Does it mean I'm over it? No. I don't think we'll ever get over it. But I felt the release and calm afterwards. Before you click away, can we just do one thing together? Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, take a slow breath in, and an even slower exhale out. Look around your room and name 3 things that are neutral: a lamp, a book, a chair. As one survivor put it beautifully, it's all meant to make survivors like me vanish, but I'm not vanishing. Turn to stillness and to your breath when you need calm. From my heart to yours, have a beautiful day. Bye for now.